right, this is episode 2 of 2 on our transforming this field into our fruit forest, and hopefully by the end of this video we will have our first set of trees planted. I just finished filming episode 1 where the last thing I did was tilled this field, and then I said I was going to use the rake to rake it up and try to get some of the debris out. Turned out that was a very bad idea. It didn't do really anything of value, but it did bring up a lot of these, just lots of debris, lots and lots of debris. So I'm just gonna do a manual sweep. We'll see how long this lasts. It may turn out to be not worth the effort, but I'm gonna just take this metal rake here and try to rake up some of this debris. Just gonna kind of go light. I'm not gonna go too heavy on it, but I do want to get some of this stuff raked up like that and into little piles, but there's just tons of it, just so much of it. So I'm gonna do that, and then I think I'm going to use the cuddle packer to pack all this down. Raking up the rocks and the roots and all that kind of stuff, complete waste of time. Very futile in my attempts to do that. It was going to take way too much effort. Way too much effort. I don't have the time for that, and quite honestly there's so much in here that yeah. So as you saw, after I raked it up with the metal rake, I tried to scoop it up with the bucket. That worked okay, but like I said, there's just too much to do here. So I ended up just putting the tiller back on, and I did a couple passes all around, and we're back to some nice fluffy soil here that, I mean, I'm still just gonna have some debris. I can hand pick up some of these big things like this as I continue the work on this field. So I think the thing I'm gonna do now is I need to run into town, go get some more fuel, some off-road diesel, and once I come back, I'm gonna hook up that the cuddle packer, and we're just gonna pack this down, and we're gonna call it good. And over the years and over the time that I'm out here, as things pop up or as things get in our way, we'll just manually move it, and it'll just have to be what it is. So, all right, I'll be back here shortly, and we'll get to cuddle packing. Okay, I have more fuel. I have the cuddle packer on. I've never used this thing before. I didn't even know that such thing existed. So we're gonna give it a shot and see how it goes. start there. I'm on 6. Okay, not quite as compacted as I thought it was going to be with a cuddle packer. I guess I don't really know what a cuddle packer is anyway. So I am going to drive over it with the Avant. I'm just going to keep following the one tire width over and over, side by side, in a grid pattern to do a little bit more compacting. I don't want it like really compacted, but when it rains, I don't want a bunch of the top loose dirt just to wash away and then create mud ruts. So gonna pack it down a little bit more with the weight of this guy, and we'll see how that goes. I'll do my best based on trying to guess where my tires are. I can't see the front tires. Plus I gotta be in the AC with this. Oh man, it is so much smoother. Still got some bumps to it because of the rocks and whatever, but yeah, that is way smoother than it was. Okay, so we can see the tire tracks that I laid down. Let's see if I can get next to them now. Oh, ouch. Let's see how I'm doing here. Not bad. See it back there? Not bad. It looks like if I keep my forks to the outside of the tire tracks, then that's about where I need to be. All right, I've completed, well, let's see here. So you can see the tracks have gone all the way across. That's twice as wide as my tractor wheels are. So I'm going to start a brand new row over here and do that again. You can see behind me that I started a new row, and then once I fill the gap in between the two new tracks, then I'll start a new row again. If that makes sense. I just keep doing that over and over. It's going pretty quick. Okay, I think I am done with prepping the field. That was a lot of work, but there's a few little areas where it's not quite compacted. I didn't quite get it with the tractor, but for the most part you can tell it's gotten pretty good. So it's now not going to wash away, I don't think, during a heavy rain, but I need to get these swales in here. The trees that we are getting, the maximum height and kind of radius of the branches and stuff is 25 feet. And so what we're gonna do, I'm sorry, it's 10 feet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go 25 feet away from the power lines there, because we need to make sure that we have an easement for the power company to be able to drive up and do any line work. So I'm just going to take my tape measure here and see if I can attach to that guy really quick and go out 25 feet here. Oh, don't fall. There's 19. There's 20. It's trying to fall. 22. No! All right, let's just attach to this grounding wire right here. Now let's go out about 25 feet. That's the maximum of this tape measure will do anyway. There's about 25 feet right there. And I'm just gonna mark it with this guy here. Okay. And then I'm just gonna go about 5 feet away from that, and that'll be the start of the swale lines, because I think we want to be, so we plan on doing half moon swales, and so actually maybe I'll start on the 25 line and go every 5 feet. Let's do a couple feet away from it. So let's just do 2 feet away from that. I can always come back up if I want to. Okay, so I just have this A-frame contraption here. You guys have seen these things several times. So it's these sticks are the same length at the same angle, and this bar is completely level to these sticks here with the level on it. And so when I start, I'll put my foot down on one, and I'll move this thing and there's level right there. So those the 2 feet are level at that point. And I guess those two are level. So now come over here and find there we go. So I'll put another there. So that is the start of a level contour. That seems really strange, but I guess that's level. Huh. We may be having some weird contour lines, but let's just see how this thing goes and then make adjustments as needed. All right, so Katie and I laid out the flags.
On contour.
On contour. So what you're seeing is the different level lines of this, and so you can kind of see how this curves down kind of that way, like that. And then we set up a couple stepping posts just to mark out a 25-foot distance between each, because we're thinking generally we want the trees to be 25 feet away from each other. Mm-hmm. And so we have enough space in this area to accommodate that for the 12 trees. So now what we're going to do is lay out where the trees are going to go, and that'll dictate where our half moon swale is going to go.
Yep.
And you want to start down there, right?
Well, yeah, I think looking at it, we can go either way, but my brain is thinking, since that's the direction where the water and everything is going to be flowing, mm-hmm. if we take a look from those two chestnut trees,
yes.
If we have a look up, that's going to give us a better plane of,
yes,
we can fit 4 trees in this spot. Awesome. Oh, it looks like 6 can go here, 4 can, you know, however that breakdown is. It's just how my brain is thinking it through right now. So We may get down there and be completely wrong, and that's okay.
That's right. I only did the field to this first chestnut tree because we wanted to stay away from the shade of these giant oak trees. And so we figured that if we're kind of in line with that chestnut tree there, it's a pretty good distance to allow full sun for the trees that might be in this general area.
Yeah, because this is south, and so we have, obviously these will be fully feathered, or feathered.
What do you
I
want,
work
chicken
with
lady?
chickens too much.
Yeah, they'll be leaved out. There'll be lots of shade.
They're going to have their tree feathers, which comes to approximately right here.
So you can even see it right now.
Yeah, you can pretty good. So depending on, the sun is above them.
Yeah.
However, you still get some shade here. So we want to make sure they get 8 to 10 hours of sun a day. And so.
Yeah, and which they will, because right now we're early spring. The sun's lower than it's normally going to be at this time of day. It's usually going to be right up here. So I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
If we line up pretty close to this chestnut.
Yeah.
So we want to be 25 from that chestnut at least, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to we're at 15, we're at 20, 21, 23, 24,
Well,
right there.
Are you going to go to the chestnut?
I'm going to. I didn't
okay.
want to go too fast and have
I
it
see.
pull my
I'm like, we're
tape
at like
measure
30
out.
feet now.
Okay, so with that radius, where do you want to put your first tree?
Right here?
You want to put it there?
I think so.
Okay.
Because then,
Okay, go ahead and grab a stake. Great. Now, let's figure out where we want. So that's one of 12 done.
3 days later.
If you stay there, all
Okay.
radius around, stay with that tree.
Yep. I was just going to grab another steak for you,
I see.
but I'll stay here.
Efficiency is not the goal here, baby.
It's how my brain works, honey. So that's about perfect.
Right there?
Yeah,
I like it.
it actually worked.
It did. Just right between these.
Are we going to radius around this one again
Sure.
and just go up that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll just do a new contour line starting at that tree.
Okay.
So I know where to, I'm sorry, we're gonna do it at this contour since I've
Oh.
already done the contour.
Got it. Okay.
But I do appreciate you going exactly 25.
I've met you. I've done projects with you. Level exactly in the middle of the measurement.
So if we do 25, if you're okay with not being perfect grid, 25 is perfect right here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay. Like I said,
Yeah, we don't need to have it grid.
No, I don't need a grid. I just want it to make sense and be far enough away. And this should be, I mean, it'll get a little shade, but not,
Well, we can go up farther away from it if you want to. I don't think it's gonna get that much shade.
I don't think it is either, just in the winter, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, they're dormant.
Yeah.
We're gonna go along the line and map it all out. And then the next thing is to figure out how to actually create the half moon swales.
Yeah, the half moons. And they are called a lot of different things. We're calling them half moon swales, but I've seen them called all sorts of different terminologies. African smiles. What was the other one? Not berms, but
Moonberm or
yeah, I've seen them called pits. All sorts of things. So I think it's just a different type of swale permaculture. It's not the long swale that y'all are probably used to and familiar with, where it's the big line. We could do that, but we decided we wanted to do just around just the tree. So for us, it's going to be easier maintenance because we do want to plant a lot of other foods in the ground around it. So other berries and edibles and plants and erosion control. So there's lots of roots and stuff. We'll have comfrey and we'll have a lot of stuff we can chop and drop. We also want to add some nitrogen fixers, some bushes and things like that. We don't want to add a bunch more trees in here, so we'll probably go with nitrogen fixing bushes rather than a bunch of more trees. So yeah, we'll map it out and see how it looks.
You want to go up, head up that way? Keep going.
Okay. It's pretty much going to be here.
Okay, I'm going to go over to the other one to see where 25 east from that one. Because I think you need to come over more. So if you're there and I move over back this way, we're 21, 22 feet away.
Okay. And these are the smallest trees, so they need a 10 to 15 radius.
Okay.
And those need a 15 to 20 radius.
Oh, wow. In total?
Total.
So combined, like 15 and 15, making it 30, or just?
No, it would be, you would basically take, so this one basically would need 5 feet, and that one would need 7.5 feet.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, we're in that.
Yeah, we're total, like 25 is way more than we need.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think.
You good with this?
Yeah, I'm okay with this one, but this one I'm not.
Yeah.
So this one's gonna have to come up. Oops, more.
Okay. And I don't know if you want to be in line with the power lines, because I can do a new contour line from there.
Yeah, let's.
Because how many more do we have? You have 4 more trees, right?
Three more after this.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's.
And then I'll swing.
You swing down that way, yeah.
Now we're getting close to trees over there, so I have to come over this way.
Yep. One more. Yeah, I think there.
So I'm gonna swing. I'm gonna come down a little bit, babe.
Okay.
On this contour, and then you're gonna move your stake to.
To 25.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you want to be?
Right there.
Okay.
And if you want to toss me one.
That didn't work out so well last time. I broke
javelin it at me.
I know. Hey, babe, catch.
All right, now. Oops.
Okay.
So, you want me to come over?
Let's go to the end here, because I probably want to put one here and one in that last row.
Okay.
Yeah, so somewhere over there
So
where
let's
you're
just
at.
do right here.
Okay, perfect. All
And
right,
that should be
I got it.
from there.
You can move, I got it.
Okay.
I'm good.
You're not good, you're great.
That's great. I'm really good with this kind of stuff and eyeballing. I want to go to those pink ones.
Yeah, I'm just measuring over here.
Okay.
Just real quick. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so you want to go to down to the pink one?
And we're going to be way more than 25 away, so I just want to go somewhere down in this area.
Okay.
I'm fine with either where you are or close. I just don't want to get too close to the driveway.
Yeah, I don't want to get close to the driveway either.
Are we okay in the middle and just doing a new contour?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because then it'll kind of line up
Sure.
with those two down there?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just let you put it wherever.
All right.
We overextended it so it doesn't.
Yeah, it's not going in all the way. So I think if we stay kind of within this line right here and kind of with this line right here.
Perfect. I'm good with that.
There we go.
Sweet. We have our tree layout. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Look
that's
at that.
plenty of room.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
great.
The only thing I'm wondering is I do want to add a couple peach trees. I'm wondering if I should consider 2 more spots to add, like.
Well, we have the extra spots down by the.
Okay.
We can do it down almost parallel or so by
Okay.
the acorns if they're compatible with acorn.
Maple?
No, those two
Those are-
acorn. Those 2 oak trees.
Oh, oak trees. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, acorn.
They produce acorns.
Okay, I was like, what? Okay, no, that's fine. We can do that. I was just thinking, I was like, well, before
or we could even come in here.
Yeah, we could actually.
Once I redo all this for the garden, we can always just add some more in here.
Yeah, because I'll definitely have a space, because again, with the sun and I want to make sure that the garden, I don't want the trees over shading the garden.
Yeah.
But I do want shade areas in the garden, if that makes sense. Awesome.
Perfect. We are at the point where we're trying to figure out how to dig the swales without doing it manually, because neither Katie nor I have enough. We're too old for that. So I'm trying to Katie and I came up with an idea. We're going to use the tiller in the back of the tractor and have the tractor be at full swing and just go around. I did a kind of mock-up of it, and you can see that orange straight line. That's where we really want the half of the half moon to be, and then it kind of goes up and around like that.
So here we go.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
I mean, we can see the moon shape up there, but where it comes out. So we thought maybe starting a straight line first would be right, but I don't know if that is.
I think, yeah, I mean, there's so many ways we could have done it, right? Straight line, just so we know where the line is, right on the edge. So you know where to drop your bucket, or where you know where to drop your tiller is kind of what the thought was. And then lining up your tires, or the tiller here, but getting yourself situated to do the turn. We were trying to go off of like he had driven it once.
Right.
And so we were trying to use that as a guide, but it was really hard to see.
Yeah, because I put the attachment on, I got myself lined up straight with the attachment. Like I did a pattern right here, you can see it. And I went straight right there, and then I just turned real sharp the whole way and just watched what pattern it made and see how big it was. And it was pretty sizable. Because we were thinking if we put the tree where the straight line is right here, and then dug out the rest, that'd be that's like a 12-foot moon.
Huge.
That's too big. So then we're like, well, let's bring the tree in and just dig out the rest here, and it's not quite a 12-foot moon, but it's still too big.
Oh, you think it's too big?
No, it's just, it was just hard to line up.
Okay. Because I was like, I don't hate the size of it, because the this right here would all be dug out. And then this is where the mound of dirt would be, is all right here, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's on the outside or the inside, wherever we decide.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly don't think this is that bad, considering we're doing it with a tiller.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to start with the straight. I think if we mark it with paint, like we did this one, I know where my straight is, and then we'll go back 4 feet like we did, line it up, and I'll just do a pre-run with my wheels turned to make sure I'm lined up correctly, and then back it up with the wheels turned, and then just start. Or we can just do a box one.
Little squares? We could. We could. Let me think on that a little bit.
And no.
I'm out here in the food forest area, and Nate is hard at work digging out the Half Moon water catchment systems. What he's doing is he's piling up the dirt that he's pulling out of these half moons, and that's going to create the swale on the back end to keep the water in the half moon. We're planting 12 fruit trees in this front area right here. He's got 4 more to dig after this one.
So we had a pretty hard rain just hours after I finished digging these holes, and it was only about 0.2 inches of rain, so it wasn't lots of water, but just wanted to show the results of this. Pretty soft mud right here on my feet, very soft, you can see. So, still a lot of work to be done on these, but they're looking pretty good. Oh, that one got some good. Let's go take a look at this one over here. Look at that. That one got some good amount of water. Oh wow, that is very muddy.